Okay, guys. So I started YouTube not to just show the beautiful stuff in trading, and that trading is just the most beautiful thing ever, because I think this is a lie. Trading is also quite intense, and trading can be a pain in the rear. Right. So let's talk about this, why it happened, what happened to me, and I want to deep dive a little bit into that. So Friday was probably the big, not probably, it was until today the biggest liquidation in the crypto space ever. So after hours, here we can see this is after the close of the US session. Around that time, the market went crazy. So this here is then an 11% move in the after hour session. Okay, and to put it in perspective, let me have a look here. To put in perspective, when we look at the Nasdaq on Friday, also 30-minute chart, we can see here at this time, 10:30 p.m. European time, trading session stopped. Okay, 10:30 it stopped, and when we go back here, 10:30, this was this candle here. After 10:30 at 11, this time then the big moves basically started. And it started with Trump saying that there will be tariffs on China. And just to highlight this, this is the close of the regular trading session. So this is 20 to 30. So let's have a look. I just want to show you guys. This is basically 20 to 30, or basically 20 to 10, 20 to 15 is here the stop in the Nasdaq. So the stop actually was here, and then there was a comment of Trump about tariffs, China, and that basically, yeah, there could be another trade war going on. So not too good. There was already the whole day negative sentiment. And what happened then, in addition, there was a kind of a panic came up, because with these comments, and no other venue to hedge, the crypto space is the only way to go, right? So Forex is closed, OTC markets are closed, traditional futures market is closed, stock trading is closed. The only way to do it, crypto, right? And that basically was then, I would say, the only reasonable way to go for market participants to try to hedge a potential selling panic on the Monday morning. All right. So this is basically the setup. This is a setup for panic, because again, tariffs loom, Trump tweets going on around the globe. In addition to that, there was an issue with Binance. Binance had an outage, and the Binance outage basically means that no quotes anymore. So here, Bitcoin, yes, it's a 50-minute chart. It's ugly like hell. It's for Bitcoin, huge as is 13%. Yes, big move, but it was 10 times horrible in Ethereum, right? This started here, and this is here a 15% move, $610, crazy. So a lot of volume being pumped into the market, and the market makers weren't able to trade it anymore. That's quite as simple as it is. Binance technical issues, weren't able to handle the big selling pressure, and in the end, the market falls through a roof. So again here, Solana, 30% move. And we talk about here 45 minutes. No market maker can handle the pressure. And when they cannot handle the pressure, basically it falls through all the stages basically to zero. And we've seen this all across the globe. On this market, a market or a coin I will talk more later. So also here on the 45 minutes, 70% down. Low we can see here was the 24 cents. When I saw that, and in the end, we don't know what's going on. Yes, I saw that there were technical issues, but it's impossible to understand really what's going on. Okay, and the situation, I want to talk then a little bit about the situation, what happened to me. So I saw the market tanking. I was in an Ethereum trade, and the market just puked. Problem is, at some stage, I don't see anything anymore. No idea what was going on. And in the end, wasn't able to trade and had to take a big loss. So let's start with this. I'm in a position in Ethereum, and let's have a look. Maybe let's say it first. What happened? Ethereum position lost how much? 46,000. All right, lost 46,000 in Ethereum, and it looks crazy, and sometimes it is crazy. But my problem really is, let's have a look at that. My problem really is that I took before some winners as well. So I didn't expect that at all. I basically was trading quite heavily at that session. So I took some winners, and I didn't really have a lot on. So I didn't really think that I would run into trouble. And then this technical glitch happened, because at 2307, I was closing out some winners. Let's have a look at when this was. Oh, holy moly, 2307. Yeah, around that time I was actually closing a position in a win, and then basically the market dumped further. And the problem is, during that whole amount of time, the trading system was off, so I wasn't able to close. Okay, so 100 Ethereum, and let's say a $150, or let's say a $100 move, whatever, 10,000, 15,000, okay, and that's it. I mean, that's okay. I don't have a problem with that, okay? But overall, if you cannot do anything, it's a problem. I wasn't so concerned because I had a Bitcoin short position on as well. And as I mentioned, I even started to sell more Bitcoin here. Problem is, I wasn't able to sell either, because here I didn't have access to the market. Basically, exchanges basically all shut down. All with Binance related exchanges didn't have trading ability, right? $15,000 move, short Ethereum. If I would have to close it out there, no problem. Or close it out at 105,000, 104,000. So for sure, not beautiful on the Ethereum side of things, but no problem. Okay. So during that time, I can do nothing. All right. Between these times, and we'll go now back to this chart now. Between 2305 and 005, I don't have any quotes. I have no trading ability through Bitunix. And it's not Bitunix to blame here. Okay, I just want to be very honest. It's not Bitunix to blame here. Technical stuff will happen. So there's an outage around that time, and obviously no ability to trade. I have a hedge position on. I have a long position on. In the end, I don't know what happens. So in reality, what happens is that a position is being closed then. And let me just show you this position history, and it's quite funny. It's not funny, but in the cell phone, basically it means that basically the P&L was actually 900, because their system came back online when I was $900 in profit, and the short obviously in Bitcoin didn't work either. Wasn't able to make money there. So long story short about this, Bitunix paid of this 46K. I think they paid around 25K back in refunds. Respect that a lot. I respect that a lot, because in the end, they are covering the loss. Okay. Why did this happen? Again, Binance outage, a lot of pressure in the market, trading after hours on a Friday when basically markets are closed. And in my opinion, it is not a conspiracy about Trump, because Trump has to do it after hours. I think it makes a lot of sense that he does it after hours, that he also does it on a Friday, so that he can basically calm down the markets as well. I think it's actually a wise decision in my opinion. The Binance outage though, or the overload of the systems, is a problem. And and the overload of the system is just one part of it, because in the end, when we look now at markets like Chainlink at top whatever, how much is it? Top 10 coin fell through and basically had as well in this 1 hour a drop of 60%. This means, and why does this happen? It's not because there is nobody would want to buy, but not at that time. And at some stage, how these algorithms or liquidity provider algorithms work, at a certain amount of time, nobody wants to do business anymore. I don't know. Is it at a 15-minute mark? Is it at a 10% level, 20% level, 30% level, 40, 50, 60? I don't know. But it's a certain amount of time, these algorithms will not provide liquidity anymore. And I have experience with this. There was a flash crash in the markets in the S&P. I think it was 2010 or 11, around that time, when this happened, quite similar. And I will talk about this in a few moments. So that this happened here is actually not great. And it's actually a sign that crypto markets have to be improved in that regard, that stuff cannot fall through the roof, at least not a top 20 coin. XLM, same stuff, terrible. And nothing, no possibility to do. So as mentioned, 46K loss, they covered 23,000, around that, or 35,000. So I'm down 23, I think 23,000 around the number. And, no ability to do anything. I cannot close, whatever. Would I have normally got such a loss? No way. Okay, because my threshold is I put the trigger when I'm down, let's say 15K. I'm really even, I put the trigger there and then thank you very much, goodbye. But again, wasn't able to do that. So I looked then through TradingView and I thought, what is going on? I mean, is it war? Is it a atom bomb exploding somewhere? And I thought, you know what? And I saw then SUI trading. I saw SUI trading here at 50 cents or 58, 60 cents. And I thought, hey, how can this be? What am I missing? And then obviously you have to be quick because in the end it's an 80% loss on the day. And then you have to be quick and make a decision. So SUI for me is more gamification, it's more gaming, whatever. It's no real world asset. So I looked at Ondo, okay? And Ondo basically was then the move I made. Ondo was down at this stage, 73%. And the move what I made was the following. Zack, I went to Bitmart and I bought here. And I started to buy here Ondo. And I bought in the beginning, I bought here 50K. As you can see, I made the market. I bought overall here, but you can see the latest fill was 46,000 Ondo at what price? 27 cents, 20. And so basically, I basically bought up the liquidity, what I received from Bitmart. It was a taker order. So I bought the bottom. Okay, I just tried to buy the bottom and I bought this there and I rode it up basically to 73 cents, 78 cents, and then the last stuff I sold here, 80 something, 83 cents, whatever. Recovered a bit. It wasn't a positive surprise that Bitunix on the future side of things covered 50% of the loss. And actually, I think I'm even up, a little bit up. Not really sure what to think about it. I think in the end, I believe that stuff like this can happen and will happen again. And let me just check when this flash crash happened in the markets. Flash crash. It was 2010. It was in May 2010, I believe. May 6th May in the S&P. Okay, I just want to show you because this is not just something which can happen in the crypto markets. Oops. It can also happen. It can also happen here. I mean, I'm not even sure if I can go back that much. I can. Do I? I can. All right. May 2010. Yeah. Oh God. I just want to show you because I mean, this is stuff you have to be prepared. Somehow markets at some stage are difficult to read. So this is it. Yes, that's it. So that day I will never forget it. Let me mark it down a little because I will never forget what happened on the day. And this was, frankly speaking, why I am who I am right now, that I'm normally very, very careful. So 30-minute chart. I have to go back again. Excuse me, guys. Seems like I'm not able to jump. If somebody has a tip for me how I can jump back to 2010, it would be super. I will never forget the day. Okay, they don't have the data. Why? On the hourly chart, I'll go to last available. Okay, so I cannot do that. Okay, so let's have a look at the daily charts. So I said it not possible. So at that time, S&P basically came from a low. Okay, we made the low in the S&P after this subprime crisis, and the market was horrible. So we had in 2001, we had the first bearish markets after dot-com bubble. And basically market crashed, and then basically we had the subprime crisis, and it made it low around 1,000 S&P points. Okay, so this was the basis, and the market started a recovery. And around that time here, it was hard to believe that the market can recover. But in the end, the market went up, and at that time, this day, I will again never forget it because we had a huge drop on that day. It was again a 7% move at the time, and 7%. Around that time was massive, was really, really massive. So the market started to really trade very, very weak, and the weakness continued during the whole day. And at some stage, it was visible in the order book that in the order book basically was just thin. It was just thin, and this last move here, this let's say 60 points or whatever it was, 70, this last 60 points, this was a move of a couple of minutes. Market went limit down, and basically then there was just anxiety in the market. You couldn't, no market making anymore, no volume anymore. And what happened there, this was my worst trade of my life because I bought it. I was long 20 S&P contracts, and I was always going to hit the limit, my sell limit, it wanted to hit my sell limit, and I didn't get any contract filled. And then in the day, and basically then market flushed down, and basically I just saw basically minus 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. So in I would say 10 seconds or so, I was down 13,000 and then pressed close, and the market crashed further. And in the end of the day, the market was then higher. So crazy. Why I'm bringing this up is because this stuff doesn't happen only in the crypto space, it happens somewhere else. Maybe not to that extreme. This is an extreme event, which I think we'll talk about maybe in years, but this will be it. I don't see any such of an event coming once more. That's truly what I believe. So what I was trying to say, it was a special event. It was something which I think was caused by a combination of Trump and Trump basically then leading for all the market participants to find a way out of risk. The only way to go out of risk was through crypto markets because of the 24/7 availability. After hours, lack of liquidity as well there. And then basically at some stage, markets flood the market makers and the market makers cannot keep up anymore. And then in the end, it shut down and the markets basically start to crash. It led basically to me that this was the lucky part that I was able to buy Ondo at these levels. Again, was my best trade really for sure this year. Market timing wise, in the end, yes, I should have bought more, but I think it was a good choice to do. And I have to say that I'm thankful after such events. This is sadly part of doing business in trading. That's probably as well why I am a fan of prop trading, to be honest, because there's a different financial risk involved. And this brings me up to our company here, IQ Capital. If you want to trade with a good trading prop firm in the crypto space, try out IQ Capital on evaluations and also on the funding part. October, it's a lot of, I would say, a lot of mixed feelings in this month. We have had a big pump in the beginning. We saw new all-time highs, and then a few days later, we saw the biggest crash in the market. So far, the biggest liquidations, and let's hope that the market can calm down a little bit. Let me just check here. That's the wrong chart. Okay, let's go here. Because liquidity-wise, at some stage it doesn't matter. There's so much stuff being killed to the downside. There's still something more around 97,000, 93,000. So if the market still wants to push harder to the downside, this bubble here would be my target, to be honest. I don't see us flashing down anymore. That's, I think, off the plate. But obviously, it was a brutal move as well here in Ethereum. Yeah, and guys being killed here, 3,508, 3,420, and yeah, not a lot to say here. I mean, liquidity being pushed out of the market, and now we are basically back to start. This is sadly how it often is. One more thing, I mean, this is something what I kind of, in retrospective, kind of was funny. I was watching my son playing football on that day, and I bought it lower, 3585. I bought 3585. It's a little bit weird in the chart. Yeah, you can also see that something fishy is going on here, because as you can see, I bought it 3585, and it seems like even Bitmart, I mean, they were able to fill me here, but actually the price, as you can see, was almost the low where I was able to buy it. So I bought it actually at the 3585 and not at this 95. So also here it seems like some trouble. The bot was able to buy some Ethereum there, and honestly, when I was watching him playing football, I just thought, I just put in a small Ethereum order there, because if the market goes fully crazy, this is a price which will never come. But you know what? I have it in there. That it comes, I did not expect. That it comes the same day, just the crypto market can kind of write that story. What's the conclusion of this? So the conclusion for me is that obviously risk management is key. Sometimes you have to be lucky. I think I was lucky on the day. Again, thank you very much to Bitunix, to my guy Georgi, who helped me definitely to recover some of these losses. Their system was off. Yes, I wasn't able to trade. Yes, so we can maybe say, hey, there was something wrong there. But in the end, I've seen other exchanges like Binance or whatever who didn't take responsibility until now, I believe. So thank you very much. I will stick with them. I will also stick with Bitmart. I hope that you recovered here very well as well. And yeah, see you soon. Thank you very much and all the best.